When I start to search for place in China, I try to search for place more similar with my hometown. Then I found out Xiamen is very similar with Victoria, which is also an island in Brazil. So I checked the weather, seems to be very similar, the geography very similar, so then I decided to come to Xiamen. My name is Marcos. I'm from a small city in Brazil called Vitória. I will start with this business has around 3 years. The beginning was quite hard because it's very competitive, this stone business. But then we start to get the trust from our customers, and then we start to grow step by step. As Chinese used to say, "Mama Lai." Right now we are open 3 new offices, 1 in US and 2 in Europe next month. So the business is still growing Mama Lai, but it's getting better and better. Well, I expect that during the BRICS we can have some kind of trade deals between Brazil, China, and also the other countries, but especially Brazil and China. This is my big expectation. Because right now I think about trade business, we don't have so much deals between Brazil and China, and I think it has a huge market for both sides. So if you can have some better deals for both sides, I'm pretty sure you can increase much more the business between these two countries. I have so many good memories in Xiamen, but I might say the best one is to meet my wife, the woman of my life here in Xiamen. My wedding, which was last month, was another very nice moment for me. And the last week I found out that I'm gonna be a father. So this is another amazing memory, and I'm very thankful for Xiamen for sharing this with me.
So my name is Raz Galor. I'm from Israel, and I have been in China for 10 years. Beijing and the entire China gives people like me a chance to fulfill my little dream, which is to have my own little startup that creates popular videos on the Chinese internet. When I got accepted to Peking University, I proved myself that I can study something and get a small dream come true. Because every person has small targets in their life, small dreams. And I think Peking University was really one of my biggest dreams. The Chinese apps, the Chinese entertainment, the way the mobile payments work, the way your life is convenient, and you just need a mobile phone and you can literally open an entire world. That's something that nowhere else you can do. It feels like this place gave me a new perspective on a changing, innovative, young China. And finally, I realized that I also want to be part of this entrepreneurship wave. I also want to be part of creation. So I think my role here, very early on in this university, is to take this entrepreneurial spirit of my people, of the Israeli people, and try to engage it and share it with the Chinese innovation culture. I feel like we have really made a small difference on a few ways foreigners think of China and the way Chinese think of foreigners. We've slowly been able to connect more and more cultures and at the same time share Chinese culture to the world.
"既然来到中国，还是应该去学习跟中国有关的东西，属于中国人那才有意思，就要学中医了。因为我开始接触中医以后，我觉得，有很多东西就确实是不一样。很多老师真的是毫无保留的，就教我一些东西。很感恩他们哈。对，所以除了我跟别人就是一样的可以学到这个经方呢，但是呢，我还有各个就是你说这么多老师的一些诀窍或者一些方子。后来呢，我就跟 这些机构反映我说，我们能不能就是除了做这些培训的话，能不能想办法提高一下这些医生的业务水平呢？我觉得呢，我都应该去做这个方面的传播。我办了这种模式，这个乡村医生的这种培训这个模式，我相信呢，可以如果把这个模式搬到我们那边去的话，可以解决很多的问题。
子曰：“饭疏食，饮水，曲肱而振之，乐在其中矣。” My Chinese kung fu teacher, whose last name was Meng, he gave me the name Meng Weilong, and I ended up studying ancient Chinese as my new major. I just thought it was a very fun mental exercise to try to be able to read and decipher an ancient Chinese text, especially being a modern American person. To be able to read and understand an ancient Chinese text was a very interesting endeavor to me, and that interest has been a real motivator for most of my career. I was the first Westerner to enter into the master's program in this school in my major, which is in America or in the West is similar to what we call studying the classics. I do that except in a Chinese context. So I read ancient Chinese philosophical and historical texts. I felt very frustrated very often. You know, every time I would go to class, first of all, I had to worry about, could I understand the words that were coming out of the professor's mouth, because sometimes I couldn't, or if I could understand it, if I could understand the words, maybe I didn't understand the content, the academic content that he was talking about. I don't think I thought about giving up very much, maybe not at all. It was something that I decided to do. And I know that there were some people around me who thought that I would give up. Knowing that actually helped me. It pushed me along because among other things, that was just another impetus to say I'd like to prove these people wrong, to show them that I personally and Americans in general can actually do this.
My name is Cecile Kleiman. I'm a Deputy General Manager in the Israeli Chamber of Commerce. My main responsibility in ISCHAM is organizing and planning the annual events, which include more business-oriented seminars and conferences, as well as social and cultural events. It was in 2009. I came to travel here. I was very curious about China, Chinese culture, Chinese history, and the language. Everything seemed so new and different than what I knew before and what we learned in school. My idea was to start an MA studies. I chose communication in the Chinese language in Nanjing University. There are a lot of similarities between Chinese and Israelis, as well as differences. On one hand, both cultures are really emphasize family, but on the other hand, the ways to connect with each other are different. Israelis are a little bit more direct. We say what we think in your face, whereas the Chinese culture is a bit more, let's say, concealed. It took me a while to understand it, but I think it's very interesting. I'm living my dream every day by creating those communities and those opportunities for partnership between people. In my case, the Chinese and Israelis. It inspires Chinese to learn more, communicate more, and partner more with the foreigners. And I think this communication and partnership with the foreign world, let's say with Israelis in this case, helps the Chinese to promote, to reach, and to establish those dreams.
I'm Ta 11 years old from Sydney, Australia. I have cerebral palsy and I'm going to climb the Great Wall of China.
Today is a very special day because an Australian girl is going to challenge herself and realize her family dream by climbing the Great Wall. When she was 2 years old, her parents found that she can't stand or walk, and then they would send her to the doctor, and then the family found out that she has cerebral palsy. She never give up trying. She always keep practicing and trying to be a very strong girl, and always has the strength and determination that is really hard to imagine for a girl at her age.
After I did the Crazy Cotty climb, my mum actually asked me what would be your next challenge, what would you like to do? So I thought, what about the Great Wall? And that's how we kind of came up with the idea.
Well, she's like a really big inspiration to me because she does all these things that like lots of people can't do, and the fact that she has cerebral palsy and she still does it is just like, it's really inspiring to me.
Oh, well, thank you.
Taylor does some pretty amazing things every day, and like I said, they're just going to get bigger and better as time goes on, and she'll have a lot to give back to people.
She gets up with a smile on her face, and she has every reason some days not to smile. Life for her is hard, but she does it with a spirit and a smile that I don't think I know any other child has.
Bienvenue sur Mandarin TV, la seule chaîne de télévision franco-asiatique de France. Actualité, débat, interview, reportage, tout est sur la chaîne YouTube de Mandarin TV. Pour vous abonner, c'est simple. Tapez Mandarin TV YouTube et cliquez sur s'abonner. Vous pouvez aussi cliquer sur la clochette à droite pour être informé des nouvelles émissions. Suivez-nous. 欢迎订阅欧视 TV YouTube 视频网站，随时随地观看中法热点事件。请输入 Mandarin TV YouTube， 点击 s'abonner， 也可点击右边的小铃铛，以随时接到订阅提示。请关注欧视 TV YouTube 视频网站。